So AEM is basically listed in Singapore, SGX since 2000, and it's mainly involved in the back-end section, okay, of the semicon value chain, because it is involved in the design and sales of the equipment test equipment solutions and consumables, as well as the telco industry. They also have a division doing contract manufacturing after they acquired CI Limited. Intel is one of their major customers, and they have this relationship for Intel for already more than a decade. The bulk of AEM's revenue is actually coming from the test handler solutions, which I explained just now, okay, where they do the system level tester and together with the consumables that come with it. The split between the consumables and the equipment sales is roughly 50-50, but generally the margins for the equipment sale will be higher than the consumables. And as I explained, the other division doing the certification for the cables, this is a much smaller in revenue contribution. The recently acquired company, which they acquired, CI Limited, they do PCB assembly, box and build. They're like a contract manufacturer. Okay, so we know that 5G is a technology that will enable widespread emerging technologies, right, such as autonomous driving and massive IoT. But in order to enable these, chips will actually be required to process a larger amount of data and at faster speeds, but at the same time take a smaller form factor. And basically SLT is the test approach that can actually bridge this gap, okay, this gap in the testing. So AEM is actually one of the pioneers in these SLT solutions, and they have been supporting Intel's SLT solutions since the 2000s. And this is their high-density modular test handler, okay? And this was the one that AEM developed with Intel since 2011 and went into mass production in 2016. So just a bit of history on AEM's management. Okay, so prior to 2016, AEM was actually a loss-making company. I think back in 2011, this private equity fund called Novotelus took over. So what I want to make a point here is that the management had a long-term mindset. They had to endure like 4 years of break-even and losses before eventually they came up with that test handler, which is currently their main product. So I look at this as a positive sign in the sense that the management is willing to sacrifice the short-term gains in exchange for the long-term gains, right? If we look at the management today, okay, if we look at their remuneration, I think most of it is tied to the performance, okay, and it's not fixed. So in this way, I think there is some alignment of interest with shareholders. So let's go into some of the strengths for AEM. One of the major strengths for AEM is the high switching cost. System level test is actually a very fast growing market. AEM commands about 30% of the TAM, but this is expected to grow very fast. The other thing is that Intel is investing heavily in Penang, okay, 7 billion investment in Penang, and this is mainly in the back-end segment for chip packaging and testing. So this AEM should benefit because they have a presence in Malaysia, okay, and they would be able to serve Intel. Another positive aspect is that we are also starting to see signs that they are diversifying their customer base. The recent acquisition of CI gives them a more diversified revenue base and increased recurring revenue. Now, what are the main risks that we need to keep in mind investing in AEM is, of course, this has been the main one, the single customer concentration list. So 90% of the revenue comes from the largest customer, Intel. Now, the other thing is component shortage. And of course, when the ROEs and ROIC is so good, it invites a lot of competition because they have two different businesses with different margin profiles, contract manufacturing and their test solution business. I come up with a sum of parts of 683 Sing dollars versus the current price of 427. So I think there's still a reasonable upside of 60% at the current price, okay, if the projections come true.